ייפתח הלב בעת נעילתו, כי פנה היום. היום יפנה, השמש יבוא ויפנה, וכל דממה דקה ימלא את האוויר, קולו של הלב הנשבר. קולו של הלב הנפתח. May the heart open even in the hour of its closing, for the day draws to an end. The day turns, the sun turns away, and a voice of slender silence rends the air. Sound of a breaking heart, sound of the heart breaking open. The next hour, we will come to the close of our journey together that began on a Wednesday night, October 2nd, when together we talked about what it was to hold the dvash and the oketz, the honey and the sting, the mar and the matok, the bitter and the sweet. From that holding, we made our way into the heart of Jewish hope, od lo, not yet. The not yet of history that still needs to unfold, and we, its stewards, and the od lo of hope born from that belief and that dream. We met shattering and tablets whole and broken that happened in a moment of vulnerability that we are all susceptible to. We journeyed last night into the heart of a pattern of behavior and the commandment this year of thou shalt not fawn. And today, in the beautiful recognition of the transformation of violence towards humans, towards a relationship that's slightly more evolved, towards the profound use of words in order to make a world a better place for all of us. Words that are scarred and bloodied, but words that can become fresh and new. And then we made a journey into Yizkor together to meet Aner Shapiro and all of the Kedoshim, all the holy ones from this past year, and the holy ones in our own lives whose absence is present for all of us. And here we are as the gates are closing. And I want to come back to Naomi Shemer and her lyrical brilliance. Shmona Eli, watch over God, Hama'at sheyesh li, the little that we have. The little bit that we have. Each and every one of us here has a little bit. A friend, two friends, our Dalet Amot, our 4 L's, our life in which we do the work. We know that we can't finish it, but we have our little bit. We have our stories and our photo albums, now, of course, digitalized. We have clouds and clouds of our little bit. And each and every one of you, as I said earlier, I'm sure you brought your Noah and your Yonatan and your Uri and your Bear and your Tal and your Or and Ariel. Each of you in your own way, if I could have a bubble to look above your heads to see Shmona Eli, just watch over the little bit that I have. This little bit, on a personal level, is the recognition that we know we can't guard our families and our communities from the bitterness of stings. We know that we can't guard them perfectly from the pain of life and its sufferings, the attendant small cuts that we all take each and every day. I remember just now looking out at my wife holding a baby. I remember that slow ride from St. Luke's back uptown, only 2 miles, where I went like 3 miles an hour. This precious life. I wanted to scream out the window, you're too close, you're going too fast. Shmorna Ali, watch over it, but we know. The minute we become human, we are ourselves open now to all of its possibilities. And we learn to hold that fear with grace, to hold that bittersweet tension in our lives. But it doesn't stop us from longing and yearning for it. It doesn't stop us as the gates are closing. If we have anything, any cracks left in our heart, any sigh left in our heart to say, God, please, this year, watch over the little bit that we have. And so tonight, as we close the gates, we will be, of course, thinking of those places in our life, that little bit. And I want to invite us to a final not yet on the little bit that we have. There's a verse in Psalms that says, Od ma'at, a little bit more, ve'ein rasha. The word there, and there won't be an evil person anymore, the word od there means in a little bit of time, od as temporal. But the way that Rav Nachman of Breslov radically reads it is that if you see in someone an od a little bit, that ocularity, that vision, that refusal to give up on that person can redeem in them what you thought was irredeemable. Od ma'at ve'ein rasha v'istalkalta al mikomo. You'll look and you'll have lifted that person by your generosity. There's an incredible rabbi, musician, friend I love very much, and over the last year, we've had a very different approach to what's been going on in the Jewish world and in the broader world. But I love him so much that I reached out to him. I said to him, I see your light. I disagree with you fundamentally in the deepest way. And God willing, hopefully soon we'll be able to sit down and get to the deep sense of where it is that we disagree. But I'm committed, as long as I'm alive and as long as I'm a part of this family, to try my best to see people with a generous eye. And that brings me to this last ode, but it's an odlo. I want to challenge us this year, okay? Can you all be challenged? I'm also fasting. And challenge me too. The famous German philosopher Franz Rosenzweig was once approached by someone who wanted him to put on tefillin. Has that ever happened to any man in this room? And he was asked, he said, Mr. Rosenzweig, will you put on these phylacteries, these tefillin? Do you yet observe them, this mitzvah? And he said, not yet. Not yet. When we think about our involvement in Jewish life, our observance, our immersion in the little bit that we have, maybe we want to expand it a little bit. A little bit more mitzvah, a little bit more connection with Judaism, maybe a little bit more connection with a community, this one, the Y community, your local synagogue, wherever you are in Spain or wherever you're watching. Maybe if someone asks you if you're in temple yet? You say, not yet. You keep Shabbat in a certain way? Not yet. That you're on a spectra, you're on a continuum of expanding the od ma'at, the little bit that you have, this little bit that you have been given God. Naomi Shemer says, watch over our little bit, and then we say, but that's the little bit, but we want more in Jewish life. More love with our neighbors, more showing up for one another.